So, guys, obviously Thursday was a very emotional day at Loftus Versfeld. Lots of emotions going on, and I'm sure this weekend's game is going to be just as emotional. Um, so, I thought to do something different. We did ask the Bulls, one or two of us, if any of the players wanted to chat. Obviously, some of them are very emotional at the moment and very understandable, and we decided whoever didn't want to chat, we don't chat to. Obviously, leave them to grieve it in their own way. But one of the guys who said he'd like to talk was Nizaam Carr, Nemo, as is affectionately known, big mate of Cornal Hendricks. And myself and Simnikiwe Albanese from News 24 jumped onto a call with him, a quick Zoom call. He was on his way somewhere in an Uber, so it was a bit strange. But what I'm going to post here now is unfiltered. It's as we had the chat. But it also gives you a good insight of the type of guy Cornell was to his friends and to other people. So enjoy, have a look, and please let me know what you think. As I said, this is unfiltered, unscripted. It's as we had the chat with him, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
I might as well. Nemo, how are you holding up? I think sometimes it's so easy to just jump straight into the interview without actually just checking with you. How are you holding up since the news?
Yeah, it's been a really tough day. Tough day. I mean, I got called last night. Initially, my phone was just in charge, so I didn't hear the phone call at all. Is this a Uber? Yes. So I didn't initially hear my phone ringing, and my wife was busy in the kitchen, and she woke me up because at that time Ambrose had called me, Sydney Tobias, Joan de Jong. And I missed all the calls. And then Aisha got called by a friend of hers, and she told me, "Hey," and I was like, "What?" Because obviously I'm half like in sleeping, and she's tapping me. She's like, "Hey, Cornell passed away," and I just obviously we were all in shock, couldn't believe what was happening. And yeah, I couldn't sleep for like 3 or 4 hours after that. I was just laying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, and even now it's just. I spoke to Vali as well earlier, and it's just we said to each other because I know Vali's also started with him in like 2009 or 2010, a very early time, and it's been tough. Like both of us, we couldn't believe it, so we just hugged each other this morning, just showing that we, there for each other because we both walked a long journey with him.
Yeah.
Um, Salam alaikum, Nizam. It's obviously a very tough day, but I suppose in a way, I mean, everybody knew in the back of their minds. I mean, Cornell was never a guy who used to joke about these things, but I suppose everybody knew in the back of their minds this day would come at some point. But it's just such a shock when it hits you. And maybe just take us. I mean, you say that your teammates phoned you. I mean, we obviously were just as shocked with the news as well. But as a team, how have the guys been handling it so far?
Alaikum salam, brother. Thank you for greeting me like that. I appreciate it. Now, I must say, like, this morning, seeing everyone, like you're on your own, you're driving to work, like to Loftus. For me personally, I was just like trying to hold back on the emotions and just thinking about all the good memories we had. But then you see another player, and it's player one to, I don't know how many players there are currently at the Bulls or how many I saw, but it's basically 1 to 60, 1 to 65, plus the management, and then you start crying without saying anything to each other. There was a few like that, and some boys just can't talk. They really lost for words. So I think everybody is mourning differently. They gave me off. Because I'm busy coming back from a hamstring strain. But they basically, my SNC guy said to me, Stephen, that Nemo, you don't have to run. You can just take the day off. And then something I've learned with my father 3 years, or over 3 years ago, that passed away, is that death doesn't choose its time. Obviously, I believe, like, if you've got a commitment, you have to carry on doing that. So my way of also, like, going through the process was like just keeping me busy, which I did was by running and doing some jump, because if I sit alone, I just start to feel that emotions come over me again, and like it's just surreal. Can't still believe what's going on here. And same with my family. I tried speaking to her. I called her and she had just gotten off of the phone or through texting Cornal's wife, and she was just crying. She was crying for like 5, 10 minutes over the phone. She didn't get one word out. And I was just trying to be there for her as well, and just being, trying to tell her to stay strong. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry. And I think a reality also hit her because our kids are the same age. Her daughter, Kona's daughter, 6 years old. The son is 3 or 4, same as my daughter and my boy. And they've got a newborn baby. I think he's 6 months or 8 months. So for Aisha, my wife, it also felt like, what if that was Nizam? It was a big eye opener for her. And she just said to me that she appreciates me, like going out every day and fighting for us, uh, put food on the table and things like that. So yeah, it was just a big thing today. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah.
and I was going to say, I think maybe better than focusing, obviously, because we all know that the grief is a strange thing. So I don't want to take you down a dark road, should I say. I'd rather hear some of your good memories of Cornell and some of the stories, maybe some of the times he made you laugh, that sort of things, the things you remember about him, the good stuff.
Yeah. No, look. There was never a dull day with Cornell around. I think every person, if there was 20 people in the room, 20 people will laugh for whatever he was, either singing, dancing, or entertaining us in some way. So that's why I said there was never a down moment. And everywhere we went, when times were tough, he was always the one to step up and show us that he's got our back. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he always dug deep and fought for us. And with all these the jokes and the stuff that he would entertain us, deep down we knew that he cares so much about us. That was his character. He just wanted us to smile and be happy. And we were just saying, the boys today, he must be so tired at night going to bed because he's always trying to make us laugh, trying to make us happy. So he's given so much to us. He's a real unit. He's a real machine, and he's a giant of a man. And we obviously mourning, we sad, and condolences to his family. But what a great human being, and even a greater rugby player. Um, a lot of people found a lot of happiness in the way he performed, but off the field, he was just a genuine gem. Somebody that you can call 2, 3 in the morning, and he will turn up to your front door or wherever you might be in trouble or whatever the case may be. He's the one that will stand with you. Um, Even if you had a fight yesterday with him. And myself and Corny, we and a lot of us, he always challenged you. It was never just, you must be happy with that thing. He always found something within you. He knew what made you tick, and he wanted you to, excel and give more and do more. And just by looking at him, it inspired you, the way he brought energy, the way he brought the physicality, and even with those skinny legs, he really brought it. He fought. He really fought. And we sometimes make fun of he had a dad bod when he got his kids and stuff like that. But he's a person I'll definitely take with me to war. I know he will have our backs 135%.
Yeah, I was going to say the sorry, some
And for me, just
yeah. Go ahead, Nizaam.
so I first met Kona with the Springboks in 2014. And
You can go ahead. We're listening.
can you hear me? I thought you got stuck there. I met him in 2014, but obviously played against him since 2010. And the one time he handed me off, I think the first time we played, and I think it was my first or second game playing for Stormers or something like that. And he said to me, "Hey, Lighty, now you know who's the real big dog, and I'm coming at you, and I'm coming at you all day." So that is the first time. I think I don't know if it was a home or away game, but that's the one thing that I remember about him, and I knew like, who's this guy? Who's he wants to bump me or run over me or be a dirty player. You can just go further to that. Yeah, yeah. Wants to dominate me, but when I got to play with him with the Springboks, what a beautiful soul, and he will definitely be missed by all of us. Yeah.
Just one more from me. When you look back at your relationship, obviously over the last 11 years, is there any one story that for you put into, basically encapsulates what kind of man he was?
Probably. Yeah. No, to see it, to see it. Thank you. Yeah. I'm just getting out of the
Yeah,
car
no,
here.
no worries.
Just getting out of the car here. No, there's quite a few. But it's definitely the one where look, my faith is big to me, and I know it's big to Cornal as well. And the one time or the very first time he invited me and my family over and his kids, and my kids, and because of the same age, we always, play together. They always play together, which was nice. But the thing that stood out for me um, was the fact that he catered for us. And being a Muslim guy, everything was halal. Everything was, fine to eat. He even made sure that, there was a place for me to pray. It was, there was like a praying mat, or just he put on a carpet or a towel for me, just to make sure me and my family was happy and out at his house. So that's the one thing that showed me character, that regardless of rugby or things that we've done off the field, that was the most important thing for me, is that he wanted to make me comfortable with my family, and that's the thing that I will really cherish. And I don't want to make it about religion or anything like that, but it just shows or speaks volume of his character, that he wants everybody to be comfortable and he wants everyone to smile and be happy, but he never put himself first, and it was always like that. So that's the one thing I will always cherish with me. Besides the rugby stories, and there's loads. Besides the stuff on tour, there's a lot of stuff that I can mention. But that was like a big thing for me and my family. And since then, we've gone basically almost every weekend to, go to his place. And obviously, this time I had to bring my own halal meat, because he said to me, "Listen, yeah, I can't buy you meat the whole time. It's quite expensive." So, but that was really, touching of what he did for me and my family.
Yeah. Nima, just last one from me, and I think it's worth addressing. There may be people out there who think that Cornwall probably made a mistake coming back to rugby after the doctors in 2015 told him he shouldn't play again. But I mean, the Cornwall that I knew, and the Cornwall I think most people we've sort of heard about it today. I think you'd probably agree with me in that no matter who told him he wouldn't get back on the field, he just had such a drive and such a love for the game that he would have found a way to probably get on the field anyway.
100%. And if you could, fill out those forms for the doctors and write his own things in there, and maybe lie a little bit just to be with the boys and play rugby, you would have done that. You would have, rewrite that whole paperwork and sign it off himself. And that is the person he was. He played with full of love and effort, and he just expressed himself in a way that it's like it's now or never. And one thing I remember him telling me, and Heineke Meyer also, told us that, um, and Johan van Staan, is that memories is all we have, and that is all he played for. It's the memories, and that we'll cherish forever. I'm not sure what the medical stuff was, but if you had told me or any other player, for example, listen, you have to, slow down, and your heart is, or your lungs, or your kidneys is not looking good, I would have probably retired, or think about my family. Not that he didn't, but he still had that belief, and that belief in God, that God is going to pull through for him. And that was his belief the whole time, that he's going to play again. I mean, being out for, what, 2 years? I don't know if it was 3 years out of rugby, and then coming back. And I think we all started with Coach Jake White in 2020 again. And he basically found himself back into the Springbok, one of the Springbok camps. So that for me was amazing. And then obviously, I think the one time he just walked off the training field because he felt a little bit fatigued. And then we all just went up to him and, surrounded him and asked him, "Are you okay?" That's the hold, or the presence he had on all of us. And when he walked in the room, everybody knew Cornal was there. Everybody knew, and everybody walked up to him. Everybody greeted him because he was that type of person. And his rugby speaks volumes. The way the guy performed after something that happened to him like that. Normally, maybe in some cases, you lose your fitness, you lose your form. But Cornal hit the ground running as if he played, a match yesterday. And he never seemed tired. He never seemed like there was any issues, or medically. He was 100%. And just a guy that gave his all.
Thanks, man. No, listen, it's great listening. And look, we're not going to keep you long. We know you're out, but thanks for sharing all this with us. And yeah, and strongs to you and your family, man. And to his family as well, from me. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. And I think it's close that what you guys are doing. I just saw, obviously, Brock Harris, him also finishing up, and what they did for him, double them, and that was quite touching. And now Cornal, obviously, would have loved to see Cornal have the same farewell, but him leaving us so soon is a massive tragic to not only me, but the whole rugby world, and the rest of the world at large. Yeah. So well done, guys, for doing this and doing an article on this.
It's a pleasure, man.
Cool, man.
Thanks, Nemo. Have a good evening, man. And as I say, strongs there. Thanks, Lunga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So that was a chat we had. Obviously, there's a lot more emotion, a lot more's coming out, and a lot more memories. And I think we'll see that at Loftus this weekend, a lot of emotion again. So please, if you enjoyed that, please go and subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think. If there's stuff you want to know, leave the questions in the comments. I will definitely, whatever I can answer, I will answer. And I'll try and get, especially on other topics. So you'll see there's other videos where people have asked about certain things in certain teams, and we've done videos about that to answer that. So yeah, if you can do that, leave me a message, and thanks for watching. It's been great bringing this to you.